How's it? What we got here today is a DIY live edge bench. Pretty much 7 easy steps, and let's just get into it. Let's have some fun. Shoots. Step 1. Pick out live edge. Here, I actually found a piece of Hawaiian monkey pod. It took me quite some time. I was going to this local wood shop for a couple months now, and I was looking for the right piece. And when I say that is, I wanted something that didn't have a lot of holes in it or cracks that I had to learn how to put epoxy in it, and I just wanted one with a good general shape. So here we found it, and I'm pretty stoked because coming from Hawaii, just a lot of Hawaiian monkey pods out there, so it brought me kind of back home. Step 2. Remove bark. Here I just used a hammer and chisel to remove the excess bark on the piece of wood. A lot of it was really easily removable. Also, you could even peel it off. I did a lot of YouTube searching, and I saw that other people were using an angle grinder with a wire brush, but I didn't have that, and I wasn't going to spend the money to get one. So here we go, just a hammer and chisel, and it worked. Step 3. Shape. For these type of live edge projects, you really want to look at it with a geometric sense. So for this one, it's more of a rectangle for the bench. So as you can see, I'm cutting off the sides right now and really giving that rectangle feel to it and not that ellipse look. Step 4. Most wood shops already have a lot of their live edge pieces already flat. However, for my particular piece, I had to grab my planer and level to mark off areas that were higher than other points in the wood. So what I did here was I took the level, put it on the piece of wood, and then marked the higher points, and then planerize it to flatten the best I could for this piece. In the end, I got it as level as possible. Step 5. Sand, sand, and sand again. So this is a pretty long process. You actually sand from 60 all the way up to 400 grit. The best advice some friends gave to me was in between the levels of grit, you would actually wet the piece of wood with a wet towel. This would actually make the wood grains come up, and then you would grind to the next level. So for example, I would grit down with 60, wet it with a wet towel, and then grind away with 80 grit and do that all the way up to 400. This really gives that smooth feel to it. Step 6. Wipe on poly, 3 coats of it. Before you start this process, you actually want to clean your piece of wood as best as possible. Use a vacuum and then use some tack cloth to really get that surface free of any wood dust. Then you apply the wipe on poly in 3 coats. In between each coat, you can hand sand with 400 to 600 grit just to get the really smoothness of that piece of wood. And that's it. 3 coats and you're done. This is probably the most rewarding part of the project because putting on that poly actually brings out the wood grains and the color. So you don't really know what kind of piece of wood you're gonna get in the end, and it's amazing. And last tip. I did a lot of searching on Google and watching other people do live edge tables, and they would say poly this, poly that to finish, but they never told me what product to use. So I actually found this Minwax wipe on poly that was perfect for this project. As you can see, I love it. Step 7. Add metal legs. For this process step, I was looking all over for really nice but affordable metal legs for the live edge bench. I found these on Amazon, and what you have to do here is just to make sure that you make pilot holes before you screw them in, and it's a pretty quick process, and that's it. Step 8, that's it, you're done. Now we have a beautiful live edge bench for the entryway. This was my first time doing a live edge project. Please comment below, tell me how I did. You know, I'm not a professional here, but I wanted to make it as simple as possible, and I hope you enjoyed this process with me also.